You wouldn't want me to get Timmy Tuff knuckles, would you?
Yeah.
Literally, he comes in levitating.
Yeah.
What are we about to friggin' punch you like I friggin' punched this metal for fun?
Like you just did.
What do we hurt my little finger on this fucking microphone stand? I got a little ouchie, but there's nothing for Timmy Tuff knuckles.
You hold your hand up and your finger's like this.
Hello and welcome to the 225th installment of the Synapse Misfire Podcast. I'm your host, Chris. There was Jordan.
That's me, baby.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Where do we put this show?
So, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify Pocket Cast, and the RSS Feed linked below. YouTube and Spotify have the video platform, and Instagram, TikTok. You can contact us there. Also via email, synapsemisfire@pm.me. Send us your comments, questions, concerns, and death threats.
Yeah. That's a lot of platforms.
Dude, we're multi-plat.
Multi-plats, they call us.
Yep.
They call us multi. What's been going on, Jordan? What have you been up to?
Chris, I gotta talk about this. It's the big thing. We're a couple weeks late, but I gotta talk about it because I'm gonna say some things that are probably gonna upset some people. It's okay. This might be my last time on air. I've been playing Crimson Desert.
Okay, so I did want to talk about that and my decision why I didn't buy the game.
Okay. All right. Do you want to lead with that?
Yes,
Okay. Hit it.
because this might lead into what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
But game came out. I watched a Game Ranks video on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like 2 minutes into the video, Buddy says, the game doesn't get good until like 8 hours in. And I was like, for that reason, I'm out. I fucking work full time. I can't play a game that's not going to be good for the first 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
That's like saying, it was like whenever I go to read something, they're like, well, the first book sucks. I'm not fucking reading it then. If the back 5 books, if the other 2 books are masterpieces, I'm not gonna read the first book if it sucks. I don't have a whole book's worth of like bullshit to read.
Right.
The first 8 hours of this game is kind of boring. I'm done. I'm not playing the fucking game. I don't know what to tell you.
Fucking the X Factor, whatever it is.
Extremely loud, incorrect buzzer. Womp womp.
Oh God.
Anyway.
So, okay. All right. So, that clip, because Game Ranks is like my number one. I follow Jake Belding on everything. Like, he's my guy, right? When I talk about a video I saw talking about a game, it's him every time. And I heard him say that. And that was a big clickbaity thing that passed all around Twitter and stuff that people were freaking out about. And I think maybe he didn't provide that claim context a little bit. Because as someone who's 34 hours into the game right now, the game doesn't necessarily get good at 8 hours. If we're talking objectively good, I don't think the game gets good until like 15 hours, personally. But what I think he's more so leaning at with that statement is the game spends those first 8 hours just introducing you to systems, and then you don't really get to use those systems until after that 8 hour point. So it's like, this is the mission where we're going to learn how to do a bounty, and this is the mission where we're going to learn how to fish, and this is the mission where we're going to learn how to cook.
Right.
And it feeds you all these systems. Not everything the game has, mind you. It still adds tons of systems as you play. Like, the first 3 quests are, quest number 1, here's a pickaxe, go mine. Quest number 2, here's a hatchet, go cut a tree down. Quest number 3, go take this mallet and drive a stake into the ground so you can see how to set up a tent in this game. Like,
Quest 1, get stoned. Quest 2, get wood. Quest 3, set up home. Quest 4, kill
Ender Dragon.
Zilgob the Destroyer. Zilgob the Throggler. Before he throggles you.
Yeah, exactly. So that in conjunction with the combat and the pacing, it does make for a pretty rough opening 8 hours, I would say. He's not wrong about that. Does it necessarily hit 8 hours and then suddenly switch to really fucking good? I don't think so. I think it slowly ramps up. Like, I'm on chapter 4 right now, and I've done a ton of side stuff. So reasonably, I probably could have got to chapter 4 around 12, 13 hours, but I've done a bunch of like everything side related I could do to get to this point. So around like the 12, 13 hour mark, I think chapter 4 starts out pretty strong and starts to actually introduce interesting characters, interesting concepts. Everything up to that point is you're basically playing as this character who is stoic, has no personality. Like imagine the Arthur Morgan like stoicism, but without any of the underlying emotions and character development that actually make Arthur Morgan the Arthur Morgan that we know. You know, like if he was just always a dick,
right,
nonstop with no depth. This guy's not a dick. He's just very stoic. Where it's like, all right, you're gonna walk into a village, and this person's gonna be like, "Oh, Greymane, there's a monster in the woods," and your character will literally go, "Yes," and then the quest will start. Like one word answers out the wazoo. No depth, no development. And in chapter 4, randomly so far, I've been getting more cutscenes with a little more depth to the character. Where, like, you go less of the video game hero and more of, like, an actual character. Like, I feel like this game pretty much just makes you the best. So, like, for example, you're part of a group called the Greymanes. They're, like, an order from the north. And the game's whole purpose is you're basically, like, rebuilding that group and getting revenge on another clan that attacked you. And with no context, right? There's numerous Greymanes who go, "Yeah, dude, you're the best fighter amongst us." Or, "Yeah, dude, you're the strongest or the fastest or the smartest or the best." But there's no context. Like in Red Dead, Arthur Morgan is known as essentially the best gunslinger. Like Dutch is kind of there, might be a little better, but like Arthur's the gunslinger. And that's proven through his actions and things he does. This is just very much like, "Hey, dude, you're the best. We aren't going to tell you why."
Everything, actually.
Like,
because you're such a special boy.
Yeah.
That reads to me as like YA fantasy protagonist.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Like, there's this whole sky world similar to what you see in the recent Zelda games, called the Abyss. Don't know why it's called the Abyss if it's in the sky. Kind of weird, but that whole world. For some reason, you can go there. No one else can like survive going there thus far.
Oh, you and no one else.
Yeah, like there's monsters in there and stuff, and there is one bad guy that just got revealed that like may be like a guy that you know, but you didn't realize it was him, and so on. But like up to this point, they're like, "You've been touched by the abyss. You've gone to the abyss. You've stepped foot in the abyss. Oh my God, Cliff, that's incredible." So like again, no context as to why you are special. You know, like Spider-Man becomes Spider-Man because he gets bit by a spider. He's a dweeb who gets bit by a spider, and therefore he's also a good person who uses those abilities for good.
Right.
This is, hey, the game opens with you standing at a campfire with your boys, and they're like, "Hey, Cliff, how you doing?" Yeah. There's no indication of you being like the patriarch of this clan or
this is just our guy.
Anything beyond just our guy. Like how Red Dead introduces that first log cabin with the snow, and they're like, "Me and Arthur are gonna set out." Like you're like, okay, Dutch and Arthur, they have like a little thing. They're kind of right hand man.
You get the idea that like of the hierarchy of this.
Yeah. No, you just basically start off like a soldier, and then suddenly you're the one who's tasked with rebuilding this clan, and everyone's like, "You're the guy, dude. You're the dude. You're the guy, dude. Like this is awesome."
That's weird.
No context. So the story, yeah, it's not great so far. Like it's not amazing by any stretch of the imagination. Like, it's maybe serviceable at best.
To me, this game seemed like it was very hyped, and it was kind of just a fat letdown.
So,
I'm not saying that I've heard it was bad. I just thought I've heard it didn't live up to expectations.
Yeah. So, if we're talking world scope and, like, things in it, it is a technical marvel. Like, the amount of things that are there.
What about the amount of interesting things that are there?
Well, and that's the thing where I'm at, where, like, the bounties, right? The Red Dead bounties have a story, at least in Red Dead 2. Red Dead 1's a little more wishy-washy, but it was an older game. Red Dead 2, you hunt down, I forget if the name's Black Belle or whatever, that woman by the ravine that kills her husbands. Yeah. You hunt her down, and there's a story. She's this husband killer, and she's been on the run.
She's a Black Widow.
Yeah, Black Widow, and and you capture her, and her character acts like she would, right?
Those bounty missions were actually kind of fun.
Yeah,
like, there was a lot of weird characters that you found.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. This game will be like you walk into the big town. There's a poster. You pick it up.
I am the evil guy.
Well, and it'll be like, Brock, wanted for treason. Okay. So you go find him. You tackle him. You put him on your horse, just like you do in Red Dead. Literally the same sort of mechanic. And then you basically ride on horseback with this person who repeats the same 3 dialogue lines with no nuance. He'll be like, I always thought I could escape. How could you find me? I'm sorry. Just let me go, please. They're going to kill me there. And they'll just repeat that the whole frickin' ride back to the town. Red Dead has that same mechanic. But the characters, A, don't repeat themselves every 7 seconds, and B, actually interact with Arthur as Arthur.
Yes.
They're like, hey, you're an outlaw too. What do you think you're doing, you hypocrite? They just ignore the fact that you're this guy who has wings and can fly and is like super badass. Like
Why is there a deity accosting me at this moment?
Yeah, like they totally gloss over. There's no nuance to it. You are literally John RPG, just checking shit off a list.
Dude, you're fucking John Crimson Desert.
Yeah, basically, like Cameron Crimson Desert, dude. Like I don't know, like you're just a guy doing things.
That's fun. The idea of there being like a bounty and it's just your kid. Every person you take on a bounty is basically like fucking Nazim from Skyrim, where he's like, do you get to the Cloud District very often? What am I saying? Of course you don't. Yeah. And then you walk by him 5 minutes later. Do you get to the Cloud District very often? Oh, what am I saying?
That's pretty much it. They just repeat the same thing over and over and over. So there's no nuance to it. So this game for me has been essentially cool RPG mechanics, like really, really cool RPG mechanics, like better than, like the skill tree in this is like better than The Witcher, in my opinion. Where The Witcher is very much like stats that you're increasing.
Yeah, I don't know if the skill tree on The Witcher was like, I think, very technical.
Yeah, kind of just like Cyberpunk, same thing.
Yeah.
Like it's just a bunch of stats you're increasing pretty much. This game is really cool in an RPG sense where your character is actually evolving. Like it's like, okay, you're not upgraded. You can, but you know the main skill tree. It's not like you're giving Cliff +5 health.
Yeah, they didn't actually show you this, but when you start the game, you're actually the first Precambrian fish that comes up on land for the first time. And then by like the midpoint of the game, you start developing walking upright, and you start to lose sort of your body hair a little bit. And you learn like basic tool use. It's pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, very neat, very neat. But like the skill tree actually gives you abilities, and there's a lot of them. It's like you can fly.
Actual skill versus like God of War's skill tree was like that. Whereas like you can do something new with this weapon now. Yeah,
which makes the RPG-ness of it really fun. Like the RPG aspect of this is, in my opinion, like the best part. The sort of running around and like checking things off a list, even if they're not that interesting, and getting skill points and then putting those into things to do things faster or cooler or better. That's where the game sort of shines. And with that, like the scale of the world is also where it sort of shines.
Right.
But in terms of story and like depth of a nuance of characters, it's pretty lackluster. That's been the biggest disappointment for me. Like I enjoy playing the game, but the combat in it makes The Witcher 3 look like the greatest sword combat that's ever existed in a game. Because essentially, every regular enemy is just hold the right bumper, he'll do a 3-hit combo and kill them. And then every boss is just, we're going to give you the cheesiest, most BS boss fight humanly possible. And that is where I have my actual, like, biggest gripings. That's a good callback from way back when. My biggest gripings with this game is the boss fights. Because what if I took you, Chris, and I put you into God of War, right? And I stuck you in front of Baldur.
Okay.
And Baldur had a mechanic. Right? Let's say that mechanic was, I don't know, he could go underground.
Oh, what does Baldur drive?
A BMW.
He would.
So, imagine his mechanic is he can go underground.
Okay.
And you lose him for a few seconds. So, okay, what are your assumptions that you as a player would have to do?
You have to telegraph where he's going to pop back up. Because I imagine other enemies that I've seen it do that have a mechanic where like they pop up and you can stun them when they pop up or whatever before they go back down underground.
Okay. What about? All right, here's another example. What if Baldur flashes red briefly? He does like a wind-up attack, and there's a red flash. What do you think that means?
This may be a dodge. This maybe I gotta get out of the way.
Okay, all right. What if he flashes blue?
Oh, blue, red and blue, or
just blue, one at a time.
That could be like fire and ice.
Okay, all right. So what if I told you?
Because he does do that actually. So.
So what if I told you that the first real boss in this game sticks you in a quarry with a drill boss? Like, it looks like a Big Daddy from BioShock with drill hands.
Yeah.
And he does everything that I just said. He digs underground.
All right.
He flashes red. And then sometimes he flashes blue. All right? And thus far, I have told you that R1 is a light attack, and R2 is a heavy attack, and circle is dodge. So, okay, with that context, you might say, okay, he flashes red, I should probably dodge. He flashes blue, L1 is block. So maybe blue is to parry, right? Made sense. Okay.
Yeah.
But what if I didn't tell you that if you hit L1 and R1 at the same time, your sword will go in the air, glow a bright white light, and when you do that when he's red, he stuns?
Oh.
But I didn't tell you that. I just stuck you in this boss fight so you could die 37 times in a row and then look it up on Reddit.
Oh.
Because there's a mechanic I didn't show you. Or what if I told you that there's this boss, right, that's made of stone that you have to fight in another quarry a couple chapters later, who has all of those same mechanics that I mentioned, except you can't get near him. You will constantly get blown back if you step up to him in a melee-only game. And so far, I have not elaborated on further mechanics of boss fights other than those attacks and the dodge. What would you do?
Is there any gap in the way that he...
No, so Chris, what you should have done, right, the correct answer here was there's this mechanic called Axiom Force, right, and you use it in exploration to move rocks and solve puzzles and things. But what you didn't know, Chris, was that if you jump up on the cliff above him and then use Axiom Force on his head, which has a little red dot on it, and then you hold the left trigger, flick the right stick right and left rapidly, you'll actually pull his head off, he'll disassemble briefly, then you can jump off the cliff, smack him a couple times, and then he'll reassemble, and then you do the same thing again. Why wasn't that your answer?
Oh, shit,
I gave you all the context you needed,
That
didn't
was
I?
my bad, actually.
Yeah, so those are two real boss fights in that game.
That was my bad.
So
I should have figured that one out, honestly.
Yeah, you should have. So that is my biggest issue. Is this game gives you boss fights with new mechanics, but doesn't even begin to hint at what those could be. Like, it's not like a cliche game. Like, let's say God of War. God of War will throw you a puzzle. Perhaps you unlock a new ability with the Leviathan Axe to do a specific freeze move. And then all of a sudden, the next boss has like the same color palette that puzzle had, so you can assume you're gonna have to freeze them or do something.
Yeah.
No, this doesn't do that.
Well, but also too, in a game like that, like if you continually miss the hint, or the context, Atreus will be like, "Why don't you try freezing him?
Yeah,
Why don't you try freezing him with your axe?"
yeah,
Or if you spend slightly too long on a puzzle, he'll be like, "What are you, fucking stupid? You should do it like this." Like, I know, Atreus, I'm figuring it out.
give me a minute, boy.
I have an IQ of 60, okay? Give me a break.
So, overall, the game is a fairly okay time. People were giving it like a 7 or 8 out of 10. To me, this is a 5. This is right in the middle. If we're comparing it to something like a Ubisoft game, it's like a Ubisoft game with a little more depth, or a lot more depth. So, by that metric, you could say it's maybe like a 7. But I feel like with a Ubisoft game, they still typically have something to carry you through it. This game doesn't have that for me. Like, I wholeheartedly admit this is probably going to be the first game in a while that I play for 50, 60, 70 hours, and then I just stop playing it. Not because I'm done, but because I'm just like, okay, I have had my fill, you know?
Right.
Whereas, like, even a bad Far Cry game usually still has an interesting villain or an interesting premise, you know? So, like, that earns its 6 or 7 out of 10. This is a 5 for me.
6 or 7 out of 10.
I realized.
We're trying to cut in the younger audience.
Chris wants a younger audience.
I don't. Timmy Toucher does.
Timothy Toucher, our director.
The idea of there being like, oh, he can enter this new place or whatever, he can do this thing that no one else can, is an interesting, like, it's a fantasy trope, but usually I find that it's explained.
Yeah.
And maybe it gets explained later, but usually a good storyteller would have clues
Yeah.
ahead of time. Like, I know I glaze this guy constantly. In the Way of Kings, first book of the Stormlight Archive, at a certain point, spoilers.
Dude, I was going to read that.
The book came out in 2011. You've had time.
No. I was still in diapers at 10.
Oh shit, I'm still in diapers now. In The Way of Kings, there's a point where Kaladin, he fucks up one of the plateau raids and causes a bunch of people to die, and a bunch of the bridgemen to die, a bunch of the soldiers die. He basically fucks up the whole thing because he had an idea of using the bridge that he carries, where everyone carries it on their side and uses it as like a big shield. And that fucked up the whole thing because the other bridgemen were trying to do the same thing, and it broke the whole thing because he's just trying to survive as like a slave. Like being a bridgeman is basically a death sentence.
Yeah.
Afterwards, as punishment, he gets strung up. Basically, what they do is like in the world in Roshar, there's these events called high storms, which are like very, very intense storms that are basically you can't be outside when they're going on because you'll die. Basically, and there's this deity that they purport like controls the high storms, the Stormfather, who they string you up outside during a high storm. They tie you down, and they're like, we're gonna let the Stormfather decide your fate, which no one survives. It's like we're gonna kill you without killing you.
We're gonna pin the blame. Yeah,
but it's seeded throughout that like. There's something different about Kaladin specifically relating to Stormlight. He can it's weird, like his Stormlight-infused spheres, he can suddenly get this burst of energy and then all of his spheres have no Stormlight left in them. That's really weird. Interesting. And we already know from before that in the prologue of the book, we know that some people can inhale and hold Stormlight in their body, and it gives them additional abilities because that's part of how Szeth's son Vallano, Truthless of Shinovar, killed King Gavilar. And at the end of this, Kaladin's strung up in the high storm, and he survives. No one's done that before. But then what falls out of his pocket is a sphere that's been completely drained of the Stormlight. And if it's a sphere is left out in a high storm, it should absorb Stormlight. So where's the Stormlight going?
Obviously went into him.
Where did it go? So that's been teased for 600 fucking pages.
Yeah.
And then it happens, and it's not out of nowhere. We couldn't decide fully that that this is how he did that. We didn't know that fully when that happened. But later on, you find out, he can inhale Stormlight and heals his injuries. It's interesting.
That is yeah. That's how you do that. That's
how you see. Yeah. That's how you see an actual. This person has this ability, and no one else does. I guess I'll do a negative on Sanderson because he did do a similar thing in Mistborn 1. Spoilers for the end of that, where at the end of the book, when Vin is trying to kill the Lord Ruler, she's out of allomantic metals, and she's able to just draw on the mist to kill the Lord Ruler, and it gives her additional power to do that. And that was bullshit, and he said himself that that's bullshit. But then later on it is explained what was actually happening. That is kind of explained. But as a negative, that's why when that happened in that book, I was like,
it didn't sit well. It's
kind of lame. She just suddenly was able to. Well, but now I'm super freaking powerful now, so.
Actually, you're not gonna beat me.
She channeled the spirit of Timmy Tuff Knuckles.
Oh my god!
Friggin' Timmy Tuff Knuckles is way after you right now. So.
I punched metal for fun. Did I mention that?
I would friggin' punch metal for fun, actually. But yeah, that can work really well and not well at the same time. So
Yeah, with Crimson Desert, it seems like the Abyss doesn't get explained because my coworker looked it up without spoiling anything. He was like, "Let me look up if there's like any resolution to it," and he was like, the overview of it was like, "Yeah, this is one of the most speculated subjects in the game because it's never explained or touched upon in the main lore."
Or like how it's explained, like in God of War, how it's like, oh, Atreus is allowed into Asgard, and there's a specific reason why he's allowed into Asgard.
Yeah.
And
it's heavily implied.
Yeah, and then it's not just I can go into Asgard just randomly
because I'm a Atreus Awesome Knuckles.
Atreus Awesome.
Yeah, no, that exactly. So I mean, overall, do I still recommend like the game at full price? No. I would say if the game, goes on sale in some months' time for $30, then it's worth a shot if you're big in RPGs specifically.
I saw like this takes a long time to actually get going. I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah,
I can't co-sign this.
The thing about the game is, I think if you were to pick it up, main the story, get to that chapter 4 where it gets a little more interesting, you could probably do that in like 10 hours total, maybe even a little less if you just do the main story. But then you're depriving yourself of so much stuff that, like, I don't know if it's worth it. But I will say, kudos to the development team. They are updating the crap out of the game. Like, they've fixed so many things already with controls and inventory management and, like, all these systems that made those 8 hours as painful as they were at launch. Like, I picked up the game about a week after launch. It came out on, I think, a Friday. I picked it up on the following, like, Thursday. And that was after they had already patched a bunch of movement things people complained about and so on. So I played it, and I was like, yeah, this is okay. And then I literally put it down for that weekend, booted it back up on the Monday, and it felt like a different game. I was like, wow. Okay, wow. And they had fixed at that point, like, stamina and inventory and, like, navigating the menus. And
imagine, like December 20th, 2020, we woke up and had the fucking Cyberpunk 2.0 update.
I know. That would have been something. That game would have been Game of the Year. Well, because it's December, it can't be, but it would have been. That game would have been incredible. Because that game is so good. But, yeah, Crimson Desert, it gameplay wise, it is literally The Witcher 3 Redemption 2. Like, it's Witcher Redemption 2. Like, it's wild how the combat is essentially just The Witcher. Like, even down to, you don't have signs, but you have abilities, and one of them is a force palm to blast people back. And then the actual character, the horseback riding, the moving, the interacting with NPCs is all essentially ripped right from Red Dead 2. Luckily, the horse is better than The Witcher, but not nearly as good as The Witcher. That is Red Dead 2. It's somewhere in between, leaning more towards The Witcher 3 side of things, but it's not nearly it's not as bad as Roach. Roach is pretty awful. This is like a nice little step up from there. Like it's probably on par, like a little bit better.
Spawn on the roof sometimes.
No. This actually, I think I can make this claim. Thinking of like what it feels like to ride the horse, I think the horse in this is actually better than Red Dead 1. To be honest with you,
that's also not really saying much.
No, I know, but people for some reason look back fondly on that horse, and I'm like, I've replayed Red Dead 1 not that long ago. I'm like, this horse sucks.
Horses in Red Dead 1 are dog. They're terrible.
They're just basically reskinned cars from GTA.
But also Red Dead 2 ruined video game horses for me. So no other video game horse has been nearly as good as Red Dead 2. Yeah. So.
Yeah, this is well below that, but definitely well above The Witcher 3.
What I liked about that is they thought of, the player's going to be on their horse a lot, and in the presence of this horse a lot, and a lot of the dialogue and a lot of the story happens on horseback. Maybe we should make the horse fun a fun mechanic. Or like nice to be around. Sometimes the horses have like different temperament. Like they'll jump up or they'll get like more nervous around certain things if you're not as like bonded with them or whatever. And they've just ruined other video game horses for me.
It kind of reminds me of how Spider-Man 2018 and then obviously the later ones were some of the early-ish games to do this, where every voice line that could happen in combat versus out of combat had 2 takes.
Yeah.
And it would cycle between them. So, like, if you're just sitting on a rooftop looking out at the city, Peter's kind of like, Yeah, hey MJ, how's it going? If you're in combat, he's like yelling, he's like huffing and puffing, or if you're swinging, he's like exerting himself. Like that's stuff that doesn't ultimately mean anything.
Yeah,
but
it shows a little bit of effort. It shows that like someone gave a shit enough to do this.
And like you said, right, Red Dead, you're on your horse a lot. What are you doing in Spider-Man a lot? You're fighting and swinging.
Yeah.
So it adds just that little extra like granular layer.
The fucking phone call if you're wingsuiting around in Spider-Man 2 must have been fucking insufferable. Just down there swinging around in the fucking
oh fuck, it's Venom. Yeah, that would have been pretty rough. I need to know what freaking dead cat he has, man. Damn. He's gonna be the size of a canyon.
Yeah, you're going on like fucking gale force winds because you're wingsuiting around New York at light speed, basically. Yeah. The fucking the movement in Spider-Man 2 specifically is nutty. How fast you can move.
You do move wicked quick. I hate that about that game though. I hate the wingsuit. Like gameplay wise, it's fun. It's a fun mechanic. But
I didn't use it a whole bunch because I liked the web. I like swinging.
It's the whole thing.
I like web swinging. I'm a big fan. Because it's when I think of Spider-Man. All right, when's the last time you saw a spider with wings?
Yeah.
When's the last time you saw a spider on a web? Probably one event has happened a lot more recently than the other.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, the spider wingsuit is stupid.
It's stupid, yeah. It's a fun mechanic to play with, but like, yeah, I don't know. It's like if Arthur Morgan could just get like a car towards the end of the game, get an internal combustion engine.
If Arthur Morgan at the end of the game, instead of like having the last ride with his horse, he's driving like a 1997 Honda Civic.
Yeah, straight piped, of course.
Straight piped. Third gear doesn't work. He's, oh shit, Dutch! I can't climb this hill. I can't climb the hill. I don't have enough torque. The Pinkerton's like fucking
right on his ass with the
Agent
horse.
Milton shows up and just blasts his executioner style, shoots him in the head.
Yeah,
we got him.
Yep. So that's my story on Crimson Desert. I'm still playing it. I'm gonna play it for a bit longer, but I don't think it's gonna take much to pull me away. Like another good game will come out, and I'm like, all right, I've had my fill of slop. I'm excited to see what they do next. Let's say that. Like the bones are here for a RPG to rival every other RPG. It's just that their focus wasn't on the right things. Like where Red Dead added in-depth fishing, decent cooking, in-depth hunting mechanics. Like they have all these mechanics, but they all feel natural because they were kind of going for like a simulator vibe.
Yeah.
This game tried so badly to be that, where it wanted to have everything Red Dead had, but then even more. Like, oh, what if Arthur Morgan could set up camp and instead of it being a button, you actually set the tent up and stake it in the ground and all these things. But it's like, none of that's additive, you know? Like, it really isn't, especially if your story's, not great. So, I mean, it's bad when the CEO of the company said, yeah, we hit a point where the story wasn't going anywhere, so we focused on gameplay. We pivoted. And then you have the main voice actor for the main guy going on the Friends Per Second podcast, which Jake from Game Ranks is one of the hosts. And he goes, yeah, this character, I don't know what his deal is. They don't give him anything. They were like, yeah, they just told me to be stoic and like unfearful and have no emotion. And like, I don't know. He was like, there's a couple tidbits where I put some like character into it that I think are interesting, but that's like 2 out of a billion things. Like this, he's like, this character kind of sucks. So, I don't know.
Interesting.
But what about you, Chris? Have you been playing anything, watching anything?
Speaking of too late to talk about it because it's been going on for a while now. New season of Invincible. It's like 5 episodes in now. As the time of recording this, it's fucking pretty good. It's pretty good. Is an interesting path that goes on in this season in terms of like quality of episodes. So season 4, episode 4. There's 6 episodes right now. Episode 4 is the lowest rated episode of the show.
I heard about that.
It's a bottle episode. Very clearly a bottle episode where like they scrimped on animation a lot. There's a bunch of like fights and stuff that happen off screen. There's not a lot in the way of like main plot that gets advanced. And then episode 5 is, I think, like the second highest rated episode of the show.
Interesting.
So episode 4, I'm about to spoil season 4 of Invincible. I'm about to spoil it. If you haven't watched it, I can't imagine you haven't seen the clip that I'm about to reference. But watch it.
I think I've seen the clip. I think
so season 4, episode 4, kind of a dookie episode. Episode 5, Conquest comes back. And Mark fights Conquest again. And there's like a 2-minute long, protracted, no music, no nothing scene of Mark just getting his intestines pulled out
while choking his ass.
One of the most gruesome things I've seen in animation ever. To a point where I'm like, how the fuck did they get that approved? That's crazy. Like I have no problem. Like if I had a problem with gore and violence in cartoons, I wouldn't fucking watch Invincible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was like, man, that's crazy. Actually, that's insane.
Yeah.
And there's no music. You only hear the sound of like agony.
No.
And so that's how this season's shaken out so far. And then the most recent episode, which is 6, is they kind of like move forward on the war. Like Mark is in a coma from being like fucking disemboweled by Conquest. So Oliver and Nolan, Omni-Man, have like a father-son camping trip while Mark recovers. Meanwhile, the rest of the universe is fighting the Viltrum Empire. And, you know, the 3 most powerful people that they need on their side are, you know, stranded on a planet. And Oliver's telling Nolan about how he saw a lobster that made him horny. That's how it goes. I get it. Oliver's a bug person, or half bug person. So, and we've seen...
That's bug adjacent.
Yeah, we've seen that, obviously, given that he's his father, Nolan had some attraction to bug people at one point. So I feel like he gets it too. He was just like, man, I didn't think I was going to have this talk this quickly.
Yeah.
So that also did happen in Invincible. And that reminds me that The Boys also came back.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched that first episode of the new season last night.
This is the final season, correct?
Yes. And it's pretty interesting so far. I'm probably going to watch episode 2 tonight. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Do you think they're actually going to kill Homelander?
I hope so.
Yeah. Because he's just a piece of shit.
Yeah. Like I hope that they fucking get his ass, but who knows? There's not many episodes left, so
I'm gonna make it quick then, yeah.
I hope it's a satisfying end for him. If it's not like, it's not just like, all right, Homelander, we got you now, and then he's like, all right, I give up, and like kills himself or something.
Yeah.
Or if he's like, oh, actually, we're all gonna be friends in the end, that'd be kind of lame too.
Yeah,
so,
that'd be super lame. Yeah, with Invincible, that's not the final season, right?
No. There's supposed to be. I think it's following the comics fairly closely. From what I understand, so each season is like a volume of the comics, or something to that effect. So I think there's supposed to be like, I think there's like 10 or 12 different volumes. I don't remember
probably
though.
Another like 8 seasons.
So there's still another handful of seasons. That they, and I really hate that people pointed out to me that about the animation issues in Invincible, because now it's the only fucking thing I pay attention to.
Like when they're running downstairs and it's like wicked buggy looking.
Or it's like, yeah, it's like very clearly this is a JPEG dragged across the screen, you know. But it's funny that 2 times, like Conquest has taken up 15 minutes of screen time and probably like 80% of the frames in that show.
Yeah.
Like most of the animation budget, you can see there's a sharp divide in episode 5 where you can see the animation budget go way up. Like they enter the atmosphere of this planet and I'm like, oh, there's all the animation. There's all the frames.
That's all the budget right there.
Interesting.
How did Conquest come back anyway? He just healed? Didn't he get like blown up or beat to death?
So yeah, he got beaten to death. And then this is crazy. So then Cecil took Conquest's body, showed Mark that like, hey, Conquest is dead, and then didn't dispose of the body, and then kept him in like a cube, basically. Put him in this big fucking facility in the middle of the desert. And he was like, I'm confident this will be fine, because if he regenerates and then moves even a little bit, he'll be blown up by like a fucking super nuclear bomb. How did you think this wasn't going to happen?
Yeah.
He was like, he came back, right? You could see that his face, like, his face is healed. And then he, like, his eyes open. And within 5 seconds, he's in space. How did you think? Okay. Canonically, Conquest, second strongest Viltrumite.
Who's the first? Thrag,
who's like their leader. Canonically, Conquest is the second strongest Viltrumite. You took, in season 1, just a year ago, in the timeline of the show, just like a year or 2 ago, you were under attack by a Viltrumite who was not nearly as powerful, and you nuked him from orbit, and it gave him a nosebleed. How did you think that wasn't going to happen?
That was Omni-Man, right?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Season 1, they fucking... There's like a massive impact frame. Everything that was alive in like a 60-mile radius dies except him.
Yeah.
Like, and he's just like, jeez. So how did you think that wasn't going to happen, Cecil? You can't make a weapon. No weapon that humans form against Viltrumites will prosper.
Yeah.
It's crazy that he would even think to do that. And last season 3, I was pretty like team Cecil. I was like, I get why Mark is angry with Cecil, why he doesn't want to work with Cecil. I think Cecil's kind of a dickhead, but he's also like kind of just making the best decisions he can. And he even is shown to like really hate himself for the decisions he has to make. He's saying like you can be the good guy, or you can be the guy that saves the day. You can't be both. And he even says like, I want to put that on my shoulders so I don't have to saddle these people with it. Even now, like, so I was very pro Cecil at the time, and now I'm like, Mark, you gotta kill him. How do you not fucking turn this guy into mist afterwards?
Yeah.
Like, I hope that they reckon with this season, where like he shows up, Mark gets back to Earth, and he's like, hey, Cecil, you're never gonna guess who I ran into, fought, and killed again. You're never gonna guess.
Yeah. How did he kill him? Just from choking him?
It was fucking crazy.
Yeah, because the clip was insane when I saw it. I didn't know if he actually died or not.
Yeah, no, he basically like they enter the atmosphere of this planet. He just like wraps his hands around his throat and then doesn't let go for like the entire scene until Conquest finally actually dies.
Yeah.
And it's pretty good. It's interesting to see the difference between like how the Viltrumites fight versus like how Mark can fight. There's a fan theory about Viltrumites versus like Mark, where he's part human, and he's part human, so he can like, when he gets angry or whatever, he has that adrenaline spike, because it's supported by, in the first Conquest fight, Conquest says, like, getting angry won't make you stronger. But that's, like, not true about humans.
Yeah.
So the theory says that Viltrumites don't have that. They just, they just are as strong as they are, and they don't get stronger if they get angry or whatever. And it kind of makes sense, because the most that we've seen Mark, like, lock in and lash out has been when he's, like, when it's, like, the shit is hit the fan. Like, he's scared or angry or whatever.
Yeah, didn't he like threaten his mom or something, and that's when some shit happened?
That was season 2. Angstrom Levy showed up and, like, held his mother hostage, and then he got, but then he came back. So
oh boy,
he got, and then he came back, and then the Invincible War happened, and then Conquest happened. So there's got to be like 6 people left on Earth at that point. I don't know.
Yeah, you would think so.
I don't know if they ever say outright how many people were killed in those 2 attacks, but it has to be like a significant portion of the Earth's population.
Yeah. All this while he's just trying to defend the Earth too.
He's like, please, I can't stop sending them. I can't do this anymore.
That is a really cool theory, though. Actually, that makes a shit ton of sense. So it helps solve the main character syndrome, like of where it's like, oh, he has to win and be better, even though technically on paper he's weaker. But like,
yeah,
it kind of helps solve that a little bit. So that's a cool theory. That's pretty neat.
That's interesting.
And I feel like that would make sense too, just for his character in general. No, I mean, I was surprised that, like, when I watched the show, I only watched season 1 and then maybe a couple episodes of season 2. But I remember the specific fight where he was fighting those people in, like, a tower and he got, like, ripped in half or some shit. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's the one where, like, he fights for the criminal boss guy.
I think so, yeah.
And somehow the enemy, the boss's enemy, like, recruits Battle Beast, which is kind of crazy because we've seen Battle Beast in later seasons, and it is crazy that Mark didn't die there, because in season 3, I think it was, we saw Battle Beast kill 2 Viltrumites just alone, like by himself.
That's insane. Whoa.
So, like, we know that he's fully capable of doing that.
That's crazy. I didn't know that he was quite that powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the show definitely seems interesting. And then, because everyone was saying we're in, like, the holy trinity of TV shows right now. Because you got Invincible, you got The Boys, and then I guess the Daredevil came back. Like, I think it's called Born Again. And people are saying that that's fantastic. So.
Is it?
So everyone's saying the Daredevil show and the Punisher show, all wicked good. So, I mean,
interesting.
Those 3 are releasing right now simultaneously. So, how many episodes are left in this season? Is it 8 for Invincible?
Yeah,
So
Invincible and The Boys are both 8, I believe. So there's
not bad.
A couple more, and then there's like 6 more left for The Boys, because they did the first 2 at once.
Did you ever watch Fallout season 2 or no?
No, I haven't yet.
That show was, I don't know. I don't like how open it keeps ending each season. Which, if they can turn this one around quicker, then I guess it's not a big deal. But last season and this season ended with no resolution. Which I feel like they're just going to keep doing on purpose until the show ends someday.
Probably. I could see that happening.
But, I don't know. It's just,
I feel like the games kind of end like that too, in a way.
I suppose.
Like, yeah. I guess you get your get back in 4. You get your get back with the Institute, but also, like, life still goes on.
Yeah, which made sense for what Fallout does, because you're not really like the hero to end all heroes in those games. Like, you are for that area, kind of. But you're kind of just like a being, You're
just a guy.
Yeah. It's not like, you're moving mountains here. Even though I feel like canonically some of the shit you pull off in those games solo, you think they'd have a little more mythological elements around your character.
Yeah.
Other than this is just an angry dad with a pistol.
It's just an angry dad with a pistol who just walks into this, like, the hardest raider camp in the game. He goes to, like, Saugus Ironworks and fucking mops the floor solo.
Yeah. Solo dolo. But
crazy.
Yeah, once you run out of shows, like if those end and there's nothing else on the itinerary, you should look into Fallout Season 2. I thought it was okay. I find the action to be like a little kind of mid in the show, though. Does a lot of the Iron Man cutaways with Maximus, which drive me nuts. It's like every time he gets punched, you don't need to cut to his POV of the HUD of him going
inside the power armor. Oof. Like cuts to him, he's like, ouch. Yeah. Ouch, what the fuck?
Or like he'll get like steamrolled, like just beat to like shit in the power armor, and then it will show like him in it, like, oh, and he has like a blood trickle down his head. I'm like, yeah, I get it. He got his ass kicked.
Yeah, no, he got hit.
Like I get it. You know, keep it on the frame of the actual external view of the power armor doing cool things. It's a bit cooler.
I think it would be a cool visual to see him like get his shit rocked in the power armor, and then like the power armor's like on the ground, and then like it like bursts open, and then he gets up, and he's fucked up like outside the power armor too.
That
would be a cooler visual, I think, than just constantly showing damage.
Yeah, that kind of happens. The big issue for me is the cutaways, but there is a scene in that where the power armor gets like incapacitated, and he's like fighting to escape it, and then he like hobbles out of this thing like all fucked up, and it's like, oh man, I'm gonna die, and then the shit happens that I won't spoil, like with other factions helping. So it does do that one time, and that was like the coolest like oh shit moment, because like basically it keeps the camera on the outside the whole time. He gets hit, power armor goes down, and then it stops moving, and you're like, oh shit, what happened? And then all of a sudden it like tries to pop open but like can't, and he's trying to like bust out of this thing. He's like kind of locked inside.
Yeah.
I think the power core or something gets cut in half or some shit like that, and he's like trapped, and then he finally gets out, and he's like stumbling away. So it's definitely interesting. It was okay. It was an alright season. It's definitely alright. It has some cool concepts with I forget what the faction is in the game, but there is one that's looking to like mind control. Is it not the Institute? So
I know the Brotherhood of Steel was really big in the last one.
Yeah, they have a whole chapter here, but then it like that's the thing is the show has all these factions. Like the Brotherhood of Steel will be in like the first 3 episodes, I think it is, and then they just drop off and never appear again for the rest of the season, basically. What is the freaking faction? It's the one that's like in the mountains. Oh my god, what the hell are they?
I don't know. There's a few.
Yeah, there's a bunch of factions.
There's a few. One, like I know there's like the Enclave. And,
that's what it is. Enclave.
Well, so the Enclave, I think, is old remnants of the U.S. government.
Yeah, that's what it is. So there's a big plot line with
because there's another thing that like spins with the Enclave, where they kind of like, and they touch on this in the first season, where like they're the masterminds behind this war. And it's like the government was involved, and like all the corporations were involved. So like Vault Tech and everyone. And Vault Tech basically designed all the vaults as experiments. So it could have been a different vault that was under a different experiment. Right.
Yeah, so there's a lot of like that sort of plot line. And what's interesting is the way the show sets up like a potential season 3. It kind of has like characters all over the place. So I wonder how they're going to storytell that. If it's just going to jump between them, or if we're going to stick with one character for a while or something. So I don't know.
I hope it doesn't do the thing The Walking Dead started doing around season 4. They switched to this thing called boomerang storytelling, which is a style of storytelling where you focus on one group of characters and then for one entire episode. And then the next episode is on another group of characters. The third episode is on another group of characters, and by episode 4, you move back to the first episode, the first group of characters.
Yeah.
So basically, season 4, at the end of season 3 of The Walking Dead, a bunch of people got separated. Actually, probably after the mid-season finale, I should say, of season 4. All the people get separated, and then you check up on like, here's fucking what Rick and Carl are up to. And we're going to do a whole episode on that. And then you're not going to see them for a month and a half.
Yep.
Great. Love it.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't do that. That would suck. Because this show already kind of does that a little bit, actually, with the past and the present, where there are entire episodes of season 2 that are just
entire episodes?
Like, almost entire. Like, genuinely, like, it'll start with, like, the present of, like, a character being like, oh, man. And then it goes to, like, flashback mode, and that's, like, 40 minutes of the past.
Just doing a fucking long Family Guy cutaway.
Yeah.
This reminds me of the time.
Like, there is one whole episode specifically that comes to mind that I won't spoil who or what. That is that. The character sits down and it's just like, man, when I was involved with Vault Tech, and then it just, boom.
Yeah.
It's all the past for the whole, like, 45 minutes. And it's a good episode. Don't get me wrong. It's only occasionally that they do that. But I hope they don't do that more in season 3 now, where it's going to be like, all right, we're going to give you, like you said, a whole episode about, like, Lucy, and a whole episode about this character and that character, and oh, here's Maximus again, and like, it's like just, I don't know.
Here's a Maximus episode.
It's just
all the
him
Maximus is just him. All the Maximus episodes are just him fumbling through basic social interactions.
Yeah, he does not have a high.
His charisma stat is very low.
Yeah.
His he doesn't have much of, as the kids would say, riz. Trying to get into the younger audience.
Wait, get into the younger audience?
No,
wait a minute.
No, that's not what it. No.
FBI, open up.
That's not what I meant. That's not what I said. Even.
That's what I heard, man. That's what I heard.
Well, what you heard was not what you heard. What you thought you heard was not what you're thinking. What you're hearing is what you thought.
Know when you
have you ever had a dream that when more like
when you think you when that's all I got.
I wonder how that kid's doing these days.
Probably not well.
That kid, he's probably like fucking 86 now.
Yeah, somehow he's older than that.
It's like first.
It's how memes feel sometimes.
It's like, hey, you know this meme? This is him now, and it's a guy that looks like Santa Claus.
Yeah, I hope that guy's doing
and
well.
It's a 39-year-old construction worker.
All right. Oh shit, we still got another one of these, dude. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So if the next episode sucks, you guys know why. That's how these things go.
Check that out. Stood it up.
Straight stanced on it, bruh.
Oh, fuck. Hang on. Wait. Then. That's what they call me.
A is for awesome.
A is for... Ah! So, Jordan.
Yeah?
Where do we put this? We gotta remind the people where we put this show.
So, as always, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify Podcasts, and the RSS Feed link below. YouTube, Spotify, the video platform where you can see us. Instagram, TikTok, you can contact us. And you can also do so via email, synapsemisfire@pm.me. Send your comments, questions, concerns, and death threats.
What?
What?